Hey, welcome back, family. It's Dawn Stone,
And Chess Owens.
and we are here for episode 3 of Connect to Connect, helping you and others connect with your ancestry from the shores of the United States to the shores of Africa. We are really excited about this episode, and I will tell you firsthand, Chess, this is going to be great. You know why? We
I know
are
why.
here.
Do they know why?
Do they know what? But let me go ahead and let them in on a little secret.
All
So,
right.
this episode is really about connecting our roots, but also identifying our missing trees and some missing roots. So, how do we do that? And today's episode is going to be super special because we've got a little surprise here. Chess is going to share some things with us. But we, first of all, want to thank you for being here. We would like for you to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And also turn on the notifications because we want to see you here each and every time we have a short, we have a video, we have an update, and we will, once we get our subscribers up, we'll be able to do some lives and maybe help you find your connection, right? All right. So, I'm gonna kick it over to you and just ask you a question. Why do roots go missing? Chess, what is that really about?
Mm. Why does roots go missing? I'm gonna just speak from existence. I think sometimes roots go missing is because people don't like to get their hands dirty to
Facts.
to pull roots, and I think it's something that's been kept from us, especially in our community, a lot. When things are not rooted, it's a lot of things are not strong, and
Uh-huh.
so I think the type of work that we're doing and what we're going to talk about in this episode is going to give people tools and hopefully strength to do what we've doing and what we've
Mhm.
already done.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And there is an emotional impact associated with not knowing. And so, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit on this episode, but I've come across family members who choose not to know. And they'll be like, oh, you're bringing me information? I just would rather not know. And so that emotional baggage, if you will, the trauma associated with it. And, we talk about this a lot where it's really 7 generations of impact. So if you think about it, whatever generation you're in, just know that 7th generation might be the one you haven't had yet, right? And, we're going to call it what it is. It's a family secret. What do you know about the family secrets, Chef?
Woo! Well, I tell you, everybody cook at the table. People bring a lot of good food, but everybody got secrets.
Yeah.
Everybody, and if you breathing, you got secrets, and that's just
Hmm.
what it is. A part of the human experience. But I think it's very important, especially when we're dealing with the family dynamic. We
Hmm.
have to really break ground with those secrets. And usually it all starts with the DNA.
Talk about it. And we talk about the DNA, and when it's all these people don't want to say nothing, and then when you find something out, then they want to get upset. I'm like, what are we talking about here? Like people,
Like it's our fault.
yeah. Like, look, you ain't gonna tell me I got the sugar. You're not gonna tell me.
And oh, I'm so glad you said that, Don, because I was just in a conversation 2 days ago
Hmm.
about somebody's health.
Oh.
And they stated that they had no idea of a sickness
Mm.
ran into their family until they got sick. And I happened to be in an Uber, and I asked them, I said, well, let me ask you this. Have you ever done a DNA test? And you know what they said? They said no.
Uh,
But what caused for them to even consider it was the fact that it was a health issue that popped up
right.
that they never heard about. And by the way, this guy's like 21 years old. So just to say that's a big, that's a big flag.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the thing is to have to get to such a young kid to now find out he has some health disparities that he has to address when if he would have had that knowledge beforehand, perhaps there were some things that could have been prevented younger, or maybe he could have gotten help earlier. That's what was so interesting about these family secrets that I wish our families would understand is that no information or hidden information can cause great harm. What are your thoughts on that?
Uh, I believe once everybody has to come to a place of
Mhm.
healing,
Yeah.
and healing does not feel good.
Not
It's like a
always.
cut. If you
Yeah.
cut yourself, and you know how you cut yourself, you got that scratch,
Mhm.
and when it's itching and it's hurting, that's when it's healing. And the same thing when it comes to the family dynamic. Everybody has different ways of
Mhm.
grief, different ways of understanding.
Mhm.
And so, in this space, you have to give yourself. First of all, you need to be in healthy spaces,
Yes.
have healthy environments and healthy conversations like we're having to
Mhm.
really go through the ups and downs of trying to figure out who you are, DNA, dealing with health issues, no health issues, just the whole point because it's emotional.
It is so emotional. I can't tell you how many times I cried.
Yeah. Speaking of crying, I think I touched on it a little bit last episode or
Uh-huh.
episode before last, but and we're gonna talk about it because we did the DNA test
Oh,
and you talk about some tears. My situation, I didn't necessarily cry taking the test. It was before I took the test.
oh wow. Talk to us about that.
So I'm gonna tell you, the tears were not tears of absolute pain. The tears were tears of joy, and also hope. And obviously, if you're following us on our podcast, you would have known that back in June on Father's Day, my wife got me the uh, DNA test, my ancestry. Here it is. We're like 3, 4 months later, and I'm just now doing a test. It wasn't because I didn't have the time. It was because
Right.
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready mentally. And a few times I picked up the test, put it in my hand. Matter of fact, guys, it's right here. I actually Don actually saw the disgusting part, which y'all don't have to see that, okay? But it is done, it's sealed and loaded. It'll be mailed off. But I put it in my hand so many times, but I put it right down because I could not do it because I don't know if I was ready to, for one, get the answers because I'm not
Mhm.
only answering for myself, but I'm also answering for my father. And I'm also doing a whole bunch of healing that
Right.
goes way far back. And so I think you have to be in a space just mentally to be ready. And so I've been doing the work. I've been doing the mental and personal work over the past year to get to this point now. So whatever answers that I do get, which is all great answers, it's just
Mhm.
having peace of mind.
Yes.
I think I'd be prepared, but I definitely have to get it out of me and cry a lot because it's like this is pain that some of the tears I don't know where the heck it came from. I
Right.
believe it was tears that came from just the unknowing.
Mhm.
And by the way, guys, FYI, it's okay to cry. Just saying, if you are human,
Come on.
you can cry. It's necessary. It's a part of the lifestyle. It's a part of the
Yes.
life cycle.
Yes. Talk about it, Chess. I'm like, yeah, it's okay to cry, people. Those of you out there, it's okay to cry. It's
Yes.
okay. But yeah, you talked about you physically talking about the emotional burden of even putting the spittle into the container and how it took you almost 4 months to even do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
4 months that obviously what this took like what you saw 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, I don't think it even took that long. Yeah.
Guys, just FYI, if you haven't taken your DNA test, just make sure you drink plenty of water. I had no idea that it was this complicated, and make sure you have a napkin. I'm just giving you everything that they didn't tell you on the box.
Right.
I'm just letting you know. Just have a napkin,
Right.
okay? Drink plenty
Oh,
of water.
my. Well, we appreciate you for sharing this moment. So, as we're gonna step into another segment, we're gonna switch gears a little bit, and like you said, find the program, the test for you. There are many out there. Look at the reviews. Find the one that resonates with you. But I will tell you what my favorite is, just in case anyone needs a strong recommendation. And I've also asked Chess to do this one as well after he completes this particular test. It's from AfricanAncestry.com. So it has the largest database of African and African diaspora participants. Okay, so we're talking there are thousands upon thousands of people who are from the different tribes, and it pulls from your mitochondria, which if you think about a boiled egg, inside the boiled egg is a yolk, right? If you crack an egg, the yolk, the mitochondria is the largest parts of a living cell. And that's where they go and get it. And mitochondria gives you your maternal DNA. So that's how I was able to figure out which tribe I was in. And what's interesting, I did ancestry.com as well. So as more people put in their DNA there, it helps make those matches a little stronger. But what I'm finding is the detail that I have on the African ancestry is a lot better than ones that I have with the other because it pulls from different parts of the cell. So you understand, the yolk is the most rich part of the cell. So that one is tied to even your tribe. So it's beautiful. So like you said, tears of joy. Tears of joy. So I'm gonna talk about a personal story where this whole missing trees, because we'll go back to the family trees and missing roots. So yes, I have a family tree, and Chess, I may have said this on an earlier episode. If not, if you have not checked out all the episodes, go check them out. Okay, go check them out because you need to see where we are coming from and understand how you fit in this whole narrative as well. You will see yourself in what we are sharing. But as I digress, talking about these family trees and these missing roots, there were years when I was chasing a history that was not mine. So you know how people get married and we have play cousins and this, that, and the other. So I literally started out researching my not my paternal side of my sister. So because I've done that, she genetically has a different father than my birth dad. So not only in my early stages, I was doing all this research, I was able to connect her to her heritage, which is my married heritage. But then I decided as I got older, I needed to know mine because for health reasons, like you said, Chess, it was health reasons, right?
Yeah.
And so knowing that there were certain things that I have that no one else in my family has, certain markers health wise that impacted my DNA, it was reason for me to know and know early. And I didn't know early enough. That stuff could have hurt me potentially. So we're talking about diabetes, right? My entire paternal side, they have type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Okay. Do y'all know how dangerous that is? All ages, old and young. In fact, my paternal father, the one that gave me birth, gave me life, I should say. My mother birthed me. He died from complications of that diabetes, the sugar. So I'm the only person in my family that has the diabetic gene. The only. So what does that mean? It's on my mama and my daddy's side. So if I don't know that side, I'm over here walking blind. And that was one of the reasons why I began to dig so much into it. Because those missing trees, those roots, those missing roots, and those missing limbs and leaves are actual people that fell off before I even got here. So now I go whenever we have a death on my dad's side of the family, I show up. And you know what's interesting? Trust, they look at me as if I'm a stranger. You know, I had an uncle, two uncles died within the same year a couple years ago, literally. And I remember going and one of my aunts just sitting there looking at me and I'm like, girl, what? I talked about it in a previous episode, but I want to talk about the emotional toll that it had on me. It had me
Yeah.
feel like I was nothing.
Yeah.
Like, wait, I look like you guys. Like, what are we talking about here? And so my thing, I went and got a picture because we talked about the mementos, right? Pictures definitely say 1,000 words. So while she's trying to figure out who I am because I look familiar, but you're treating me like this bastard child, I'm actually your brother's second oldest child. And you grew up with my mama because your sister was her best friend who is no longer here. And she died because of health reasons. Again, here we go. Why do we not want to know our missing roots? Because once those roots are dead, that means we die. Our legacy dies, Chess. So I want to commend you, my brother, for taking the time to do what some people feel is impossible, and that's know who and whose you are beyond what they tell you on a book.
Whew, you just said such a mouthful. I'm just listening to you and just so grateful that we're even having this conversation and we're doing this together because hopefully everybody's listening. I know everybody's listening can relate some type of way. And Don, you hit something on the head, like the hurt that you felt, especially in the space where you were grieving. You're in a space where grieving is happening, which was at a funeral, and then you're around the family and the family that you said that your aunt was best friends with with your mom. Yeah. So like all of this, like you know me, but they didn't know you, right? And I think that's such a dynamic of like in the family dynamic of people that we see every single day. That's our first cousins, second cousins. We are so aware of them being around, but we're not aware of how they are and where they are and what's really happening in their body and what's really happening in their mind. It's a lot of unknown hurt that we know of, but we never speak of. We just sweep it under the rug into the next generation and leaving a whole bunch of, missing pieces trying to figure out what's happening. Which, to my next point, is this because I'm so grateful that I'm taking enough time to be present to do this. But one of my biggest concerns is what does the next generation look like? And one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because Lord's will next month I'll be 31 years old. And so I'm grateful for that. But I am highly concerned of like the younger generation. Do they even care? Also, what's even more concerning is do they even care about getting hurt anymore? Because it done got to the point that the family dynamic, we've kept so much pain and so many secrets for all these generations. Now, and then got to this generation, it's like we don't care anyway, which that's a big problem. So, yeah.
That's a good point. And so we talk about all these different layers of pain. So Chase, you bring up a good point. Sometimes it's pain of knowing and pain of not knowing. Pain of you look and act like somebody, but you don't look and act like the people who are telling you you look and act like someone, you know? It's all of that. Cause I literally I'm built more like them. I'm short. I didn't get out. My family, we're from sub-Saharan Africa, right? And so our people are tall and lean, right? So people look at me, oh, you really work out. It's literally genetic. It's literally genes, okay? I'm grateful for the genes, but those genes are mixed genes too. Because I got these little short legs and these broad shoulders. So, hey, I'm a great bodybuilder, but I can't hide no weight. So when it hit me right in the middle, be looking just like a spinning top or apple.
Hold on,
So, I
God.
mean,
I
you
have to
know,
put a
that's
pin there. You said you got them short legs. No, I got them short legs. Hold on now.
I can't
Shoot,
wait. I can't
shoot.
wait.
I'm trying to figure out who made me short. I can't wait. That's the number one. Y'all, that's what I really want to know. Why in the world my sister tall, my brother tall, I'm short? Don't get it twisted though.
Hey,
I'm
hey.
tall in the spirit. Don't get it twisted. But I'm just saying, I just need to know. I'm trying to figure out. That's another part of my DNA.
What?
What happened?
Run
I'm
that back for the people who just tuned in. You said you what? You tall in the spirit.
tall in the spirit. What? I'm a giant, boy. Uh,
I cannot with you with this one. Look, if y'all haven't liked or subscribed, please do because you need to go and watch this brother because these lines, these one-liners, I promise you, they have me in stitches and I just keep watching the shorts over and over and over again. So go and find us on Connect to Connect. All right.
yes.
Go follow us, send us an email. Go to the YouTube page. Go it's an IG, just for real. You tall in the spirit, brother.
Tall in the spirit.
Asha.
Tall in the spirit. I'm telling you. What? Speaking of that, like real talk, I'm gonna put a pin. I want to say something real quick because I just thought about it.
Absolutely.
When it comes down to passing things down in the
Uh-huh.
family, and I know we were laughing about being tall in the spirit, but then I just thought about what does the outside of passing down physical genes,
Mm.
and
Come
this
on.
might have to be another episode, which it will be.
It will
All
be.
of us.
Oh yeah.
Or what does it look like when you're passing down spiritual genes?
Oh. Mm. And we are going to get into that because those of you who do not know about your African history is that we have this whole group of what we call storytellers, story keepers, griots. They keep the music, they keep the magic, literally, and they keep the entire scroll of who you are. They have the history. And you're right. A lot of that stuff is passed down, and that's unfortunately how we've been able to keep our history accurate and keep it going. Because if our ancestors did not pass those songs, pass those um those things, physically bringing things in their hair, on their body, in their bags, over, across that water, in their sacks, 'cause they wrap them up. If they didn't bring a lot of that stuff, a lot of our history would be unknown. And so we really want to encourage people to ask those questions. Because you're right. What are you spiritually handing down? Like there are some things, and I'm so glad you said this. I use somatic practices now. It's something that I knew about but never did. So I'm giving birth to children, right? The biggest one was
Mhm.
10 pounds, 13 ounces. Ain't gonna hold nobody. If you did it too, shout out to you because that stuff is hard. But when pain hits, there are certain things that we do that are a part of our African tribal history. It's part of our musical history. It's a part of our healing history because we were all doctors. We had them there. If you think about it, look at where it started. You can go in Egypt. Just take Egypt. Okay? Look at the preservation of people. How are we still even mummies? Think about that. That is medicine. That is science. Those are things that we did, our people, to preserve and to share and to bring those narratives forward. Timbuktu is a real place. And you know what's so funny with what history has done? Just, they tried to make us think that that was an imaginary place. Mansa Musa was also a part of our tribe. All right? 6 lines of Mansa Musas. Right? Those are the kings. That's Mali, where I was from. These Mensa people. I'm Tuareg. But we all work together. And it would have you think that we're always fighting. We're not always fighting, but we do all have warriors in our tribes. So when you get that stuff back, it's going to reveal so much. But what I want to stress is, like you said, that spiritual connection, that spiritual stuff that's handed down, those physical things that are handed down, those scrolls, the education, the songs. I mean, if you even think about it, that's how we identified ourselves. That's why a lot of times I wear braids. Even the way I braid. Fulani braids. If you know a Fulani style, you know who they are by the hair, the traditions, the skills, the things that they've leveraged and preserved over time. So, we got a lot of history we don't know about. So I thank you for bringing up the spiritual piece because it starts there. Whew. It's really good.
I'm gonna have to take a drink on that, clear my throat because that's so serious though. And I think
Yeah.
guys, like honestly, I think and my prayer is and my hope is that you guys listen to our voice, hear us, and really take this and make it your own journey.
Mhm.
Make this your own spiritual journey, your own journey of connecting to your family, to
Mhm.
yourself.
Mhm.
Because this did not happen overnight.
Mm-mm.
I know Donna's been working on this for years, and I've been doing the personal development
Ah.
for over a year.
Mm.
Because the thing is, when I am ready, which is what I'm working on now, to have a knowing I'm mentally and spiritually and physically prepared
Mhm.
for this shift, right? Because now, as you get information, it's up to you to either break curses or continue
Mhm.
to keep curses.
Right.
I'm going to be the generational curse breaker.
That's right.
My challenge to you guys is to do the same thing, but in order to do that, you got to know your history so it won't be repeated.
Come on. And speaking of, we talk about the power. of the oral history. Chess. We talked about a griot. A family griot is the story keeper, the historian in your family. Maybe it's that crazy cousin that always sings a song that y'all just laughed about and talked about, but he was bringing in that oral history. Talk to us about what that means for you and your family, and how we need to record elders and
Mm.
continue to capture pictures, voice memos, Sunday dinners, even that. Certain casseroles, certain way, Grandmama Ruby's pot roast. Let's talk about that, because
Whew.
it's our traditions come in more than just words,
Yes.
books. It comes to our food, and that's
Mm.
also spiritual. Go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah, I'm closing my eyes because as you were talking, I was just thinking about my big mama. Then I was thinking about my auntie Hattie Lou, and
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about back in the day. See, y'all don't do it like, and like I'm young, but y'all don't do it like I'm used to going back to Big Mama house and
Mm-hmm.
everybody, your uncles, your
Mm-hmm.
aunties, everybody
Mm-hmm.
is in the living room all the way to the front door, to the
Yup.
front of the house.
Yup.
And it will always be, you got the your grandmama and your great aunts in the kitchen, they cooking. And they will always be either in prayer or, talking about honestly the Lord. I'm gonna just be honest.
Always.
And then you got your uncles up front, and they shooting the shots, talking stuff and putting you on game. I think it's so important to now everybody need to turn your phone off. Like truly. I mean, make sure you subscribe to this episode, but turn your phone off when you're around your family sometimes to really
Mm-hmm.
get the human connection. Because how I grew up, it was very important to know how to cook. It was no
Mm-hmm.
problem whether you were a male or a female to be in the kitchen to know how to do something. I'm from the country. My family is from Lauderdale County in Tennessee, and if you know anything about Lauderdale County, it's country. Okay, and so I'm so grateful to be raised around people that value family and value what it means to even have a farm, because
Mm-hmm.
that's but I think for me, I have a lot of I would say associates that
Mm-hmm.
did not grow up the way I did not grow
Right.
up with the value of family. I'm used to after a Sunday dinner, everybody and their mama at grandma's house on Sunday, we all eating at the table. Now it's been years since it's been like that because over time people have passed off and they have died, and a lot of traditions have not been carried.
Yes.
But I think that also comes from a lot of pain because they say, "Hey, after grandma died, we ain't doing this no more."
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of looking at him. I'm tired of looking at her. We gonna do our own thing, and I think that's we got to get back to bringing. We got to get back to soul food.
Yes. And that soul is that spiritual soul.
It's the
Don't play.
spiritual. It's the spiritual soul, and like
Yes.
still to this day, shout out to my uncle Earl. Uh,
So I
he's
got
still,
Uncle Earl too.
yeah. Everybody got an Uncle Earl in their family, especially if you of color. You got an Uncle Earl in your family somewhere down the line, the generational line. But shout out to him because I still get greens, purple hull peas. And you know
Mm-hmm.
what? It's not about just having food. That's me connecting back to my roots.
Mm.
That's me still saying, hey, my uncle is still farming.
Mm-hmm.
He
That
still
part.
got that land, the same land that my grandfather worked on, and like it's passed down because half of y'all don't even know how to. Outside of y'all don't know how to farm. Your brother don't know how to grocery shop.
Watch it. Somebody don't know what a purple hull pea is. They don't know nothing about it.
Well, I'm gonna just say Chat GPT that y'all figure it. Go see what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But go here's the thing. Go ask your mama. Go ask your dad what a purple hall
Mm-hmm.
pea is. It's
Mm-hmm.
somebody else. And we talk. I know, guys, we talking about food, but as Don was asking me that, it just brought back so many
Mm-hmm.
memories because that is
Mm-hmm.
what got me here today. Really want to do this DNA test because my great grandmother lived to be 104
Wow.
on my mother's side. Uh, and then on my dad's side, his mother, she lived to be, I think she died at 86. So I think I was like 15 years old. So most of my grandparents, except on my dad's side, I had a chance to be with my grandmother on my dad's side. But I had a chance to spend time with all three of my grandparents except my father's dad. So I understand what it means to be raised with grandparents and
Mhm,
the importance of like how they lived.
mhm,
And so I think to answer your question, I think the biggest thing is we got to get back involved. We got to get more curious
mhm,
about like those that are still alive. Like talk to your auntie.
mhm.
Yes, she get on your nerves and she talk crap at the family reunion,
We
but
have
that's
them
just how
too.
she is.
Right,
Why does she talk crap? Maybe she talk crap because you ain't showing up.
right.
I don't know. But
You
what have you done?
I'm glad you brought that up, and I wanna say talk, just I wanna echo what you said, talk. But then I also wanna bring up something for the people who may be listening to this podcast and say, "You know what? My family, maybe I didn't get to grow up with my grandparents. Maybe my mom and I haven't talked in 20 plus years, but I do have an aunt that lives in Vermont that I can talk to. I want you to remember that your family and the family that we create doesn't always have to have bloodlines. So you too, if you are a person who is, I may say, a loner, a person who may have a new family that's a different family, or maybe you and your partner are the only family you know, start there. Start building those memories. Pull out your pictures.
Mm,
Start where you are. It didn't have to go back 7 generations. You can say those 7 generations, we're talking about the future and forward. Maybe you build seven up instead of always going back seven,
ooh,
right? Think
can you
about
say
it.
that one more time, Don? Just say it.
Yeah.
Just say it
You
one
know,
more time.
build forward or build up 7 generations forward and not always 7 generations back. Because see,
Mm,
some people get so caught up in their past that they want to hang up on them trauma vines and let it eat up your family tree. We're not doing that. And you know what's interesting too? Hmm, I had a discovery where I found my missing branch and some missing roots all on my mother's paternal side. My mother did not even know who her father was until I found the information last year. And she doesn't want to know about it. And guess
let
what?
me ask you that. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm cool with her not wanting to know it. At first, it messed me up because I was like, Mom, I found your person. She's like, I don't know that man. He didn't raise me. I was like, but he didn't get a chance to because your mama kept a secret. And your mama keeping a secret impacted you. But you do realize we're the only ones that have certain conditions that no one else has. So guess where it came from? That's why I want to know from my children so they will
Mm,
know how to eat, prepare, and what to do should X, Y, and Z occur. You understand? So it's for health reasons, but it's also for my future generations. I'm raising a son. I have a black boy who has
yes.
a mommy and a daddy. So he has to know the markers. And I will tell you this, Chess, don't forget we also have mental health records that need to be kept. Y'all got
Whew.
some stuff floating around in this DNA, baby, that's impacting our kids today. And
Mm,
I shoulda,
ooh,
woulda, coulda made a different choice. So
mm.
we have to not undermine that as well, Chess. And you know, they don't talk about that either.
No. Oh, and this gonna have to be another episode.
Yeah,
But
we
the
will.
mental health.
A lot of us are locked away, Chess, because we are living in those past. That's what I say. You hanging on them trauma vines, and what you are doing is dying slowly. Some of us are addicted to suffering. I refuse to let the bad branches ruin my entire tree.
Mm,
If it's that bad, cut it off, but at least you know what you're cutting off. That's called pruning season. All right?
mm.
Come
Ooh,
on. You know we are here.
you didn't said a nutshell, but I want to put a pin right there because you said pruning season.
Yes.
What do you do? Well, what would you suggest to a person that desire they want to prune, but they're afraid to get cut while they doing it?
Oh,
What would you suggest
well,
for them
uh,
to like
I
move through that conflict?
So for one, evaluate who you are and what you want and ask yourself, if I go and prune this tree or get pruned myself in the process, what is that worth to me? How
Mm,
much value am I going to put on that? Because what I will tell you, some people will do that whole let it burn, that usher, let it burn. Some people are fine in getting pruned. They want to get pruned. In fact, they'll go blow the whole tree up and be like, look, I'm gonna take my little seedling and go over here and put it in whole new soil. And if that's what you want to do, just evaluate it for yourself. But I will say this, as you are making this journey, I would encourage you to get some spiritual help, psychological help, a licensed clinician of some sort. Now, I ain't telling you to go and medicate or not. I'm not telling you to go and say pray up a whole bunch of things, but find someone who can sit in this space with you. And we are here too as your co-podcast facilitators of life to help you walk through it, because it is going to be sticky and it is going to be hard at times, but it is so rewarding for me, even though my mother doesn't want anything to do with it. So let me tell you what I chose to do, Chess. And this is one of those things where we're pruning. I pruned my mom out of it. So now I
Mhm.
won't talk to her about it. But I'm going to continue to do the work and build the branch.
That's so
And
powerful.
so, yeah, because it still impacts the generations after. And I had that conversation with her. And see, that's the thing a lot of times, instead of being the one that's going to hold secrets or hold a grudge, right? Or not hold a boundary, or maybe hold a stiff boundary, decide what it is to you, what it means for you, and take the corrective action. For my mom, it's too painful for her to walk through that trauma. So me bringing it up and being excited only made her sad, upset, overwhelmed, and which in turn impacted me and made me feel the same way. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep my joy. I'm a joy collector, and I
Mm.
keep my joy by doing the work, even when it's hard. So there you go.
Did you not hear what Dawn just said? She said, "I am a joy collector."
Mhm.
Wow. And I love the fact that you still decided, even in your mother's, unsureness and her being uncomfortable in that,
Mm.
you still was like, okay, I'm still pruning, but I'm pruning around you. I'm still protecting you, but I'm still walking in my space. And
Mhm.
I think that's so important because, like you
So
said, a lot of people hold the secrets and say, I'm not going to do it anyway, or they would never know. But you're deciding to say, hey, I'm going to do it differently this time. I'm going to do it a healthier way
yeah,
where you might not want to know, but even though you don't want to know, you're still going to be blessed anyway. You're still going to have some type of information and it goes beyond you. And I love that because I think so many people don't get to that point.
right. They won't allow themselves. That's that mindset thing. That's why we're coaches in our business. We have a coaching component in our business because of that. And this is why we built this whole Connect to Connect podcast community. Because how can I get you to see yourself as a new person when you don't know who you are?
Hmm. And if you're not taking, and then I don't even think you would been able to do that if you didn't do the work. And I know
Correct.
you've been doing the work for
Right.
years.
Correct. You're right. Like with this last election, can I tell you I was completely unbothered?
And that
I ain't
says a
done
lot.
nothing. Boots on the ground, fan flapping. Baby, I know who I am. I come from royalty, and I say it. I got royalty in my DNA. I pump Kendrick as much as I possibly can, at least 2 to 3 times a day. Okay? There's something in my playlist, on my playlist, that talks about it. I now have African artists from my home country. I'm listening to like Islamic themes and people, because
Hmm.
that was the native language there. Tamashek is my particular tribe's code, but trying to find resources there so I can learn some words. My
I
goal is
love it.
to build a school there one day, so gotta do the work.
I love it. And I love the fact that, and the thing is, everything that you say you're going to do, I know you're going to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like literally.
And
And
guess what? That's genetic too, Chance. That's how
I
the
was about
women
to,
in Mali were.
say that. I was literally
Hmm.
about to say that because you want to know why? Because when you know who you are, ain't nothing gonna stop you, baby. Like
Right.
truly, truly. And if something does stop you, guess what? It's you
You? Absolutely.
stopping you.
Absolutely. We're totally unstoppable. So let me ask you, how do you refine or redefine this family tree? Beyond the biology, all the stuff we're doing, beyond the spiritual, refine defining the community kin. How do we shift this from a network to an ecosystem in your head? Like this is gonna become an ecosystem. How are we gonna do that? What's the plan?
So for my family dynamic, Well, the plan is to kick the door down
Uh-huh.
and, for one, create transparency.
Yeah.
I think that's very important because when you have transparency, you have clarity, and then from clarity, you can create peace of mind, and then from there, you can decide. Um, I want to make sure that anyone after me or is connected to me uh, has number one the strength to do what I'm doing, and also the obligation,
Uh-huh.
where not uh, and also like just the knowing. And so creating an ecosystem, I feel like
Uh-huh.
the only way we can create an ecosystem is by becoming one. And
Oh,
so
there we
like,
go.
by becoming one. So
Mm.
like Don, you said something so important, which, that's so true. A lot of people don't have family at all. I was watching a video recently, and it was a guy. He said that he is the last. I think he was like, he's probably like my age or younger, but he said he's the last person in his family alive. Like no one is in his family exist. And I was like, dang, I don't know what that feels like. But for those that may be experiencing the same thing that young man is experiencing, I want to challenge you. And well, I'm not going to challenge you. I want you to think of this thought. You are not alone. Like Don said, blood doesn't make you family. It makes you related.
That's
And
good.
if you don't have family, know that you can create one, because as long as you got your right mind, you got a heart pumping in you, you can attach to family.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: if you absolutely don't have family at all, subscribe to this podcast, because
That's right. She got one now.
pretty sure we're your family, and I'm pretty sure that everybody that's connected to this podcast, you're going to be related,
Mm.
because we're all going one direction.
Mm.
We're all going one direction.
I
And
love
so,
it.
you know, if you don't have family, like create one. It's different
Uh-huh.
ways you can create family. You got
Uh-huh.
churches, you got communities, you have different things. Find your niche, find your person, find what you love to do. What is your passion?
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the reality: just because you might have a big family, don't mean that you're connected to everybody. I have a
Right.
big family. I have a big family on my dad and my mom's side. I'm not connected to everybody.
Right.
All right. But it's an intentionality. And so, like, find what family looks like for you and create
Mm-hmm.
that.
Good deal.
Create
That's good. And so we share some tools with y'all tonight too. So like you said, find your family. We want you to do what's called a Kinnect map. Kinnect map. And that connect map is really about putting yourself in the center and then just drawing lines out to who you know, who's in your family. Then that way it makes it easier for you to attach it to those branches and trees, those roots of the people who came before you. And you know what? I think we could probably put together a little ebook for the folks to download too. So we'll do that. So don't forget to send us an email so you can subscribe to our newsletter. We'll be doing that once a month beginning next month. Just to ensure that you get the information. We want you to be ready. We want you to be ready. And then, another thing you can do, share discoveries. Anything you find, share with someone that's in your family, whether you've created a family or your blood family or a little bit of both. Okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
so what's the challenge for them? What's the challenge? Because I know we're coming on the end of our podcast here, and we appreciate you. What's the challenge for them this week? We want them to.
So the challenge this week, what you think? You think they should connect with 3 family members? All right.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do that. That's
All
good.
right. So obviously, guys, as you know, if you're late on this podcast, rewatch it. But did my DNA test earlier today, and one of the things that I personally did not know, how many people in my family actually took a DNA test. Because honestly, my understanding, you got to do take the DNA test and then send it off, and then you get it all in the family tree. And we've been talking about trees and branches.
Uh-huh.
Find out if anyone in your family, talk to 3 people, have actually got a DNA test yet,
It's good.
because that's going to be a good start.
Mhm. 'Cause you can start with that branch and build the rest, connect it to
With
the
the
rest of your
branch.
tree. That's good.
Yeah, and if they all said no, I'm going to challenge you. We're going to challenge you for you to be the one in your family to go
Mm,
get that DNA test. Be that one. Be that one to go create that ecosystem because it
mm,
starts.
that's good. And they do offer group discounts. So those of you who have multiple people, solicit your folks. It's giving you the homework. We ask you to touch 3 people. Maybe you ask those 3 people, hey, have you done it? If not, let's go do it together. Get that group family discount and go ahead and start building together.
Yeah. And I want to throw this out. I mean, I love the fact that we're doing this right now because what it's going to do is give you enough time to go get your results, go, make it fun, connect with your family. And then by the time you're able to get your results, we'll be looking at Thanksgiving probably,
Mhm.
right? And that's
Right
going
in
to be a
time.
good conversation
Yes.
to really kickstart, conversation at the table.
That's
So, yeah.
good. That's good. In fact, I'm glad you said that because if we're getting together this year, I'm going to put together a family history kind of program because you can use ChatGPT to create scrolls for you. So once you know and you have your DNA, it can tell you what was going on during a particular time of year or a particular century. So you can tell your whole family story, even though you may not have all of your personal pieces yet. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Chaz, for being here and
I
leading
appreciate
us
you.
through it, man.
I appreciate you. I could not have a better co-host.
Oh, ditto, man.
Real talk.
Ditto. I've been looking for you
Straight
for a
up.
while. So,
Straight up.
well, we thank you all for being here. I am Dawn Stone.
And I'm
Connect
just
to
Owens.
connect. And you are Chess. Don't
Owens.
mess with Chess.
What I say, tall in the spirit.
Tall in the spirit.
Tall in the spirit.
He's tall in the spirit and deep in his connections, okay? Tall
Absolutely.
and deep, deep and tall. And we just appreciate you all coming through. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. Tell us what you're thinking about. Tell us what you've learned. We want to hear from you. Send us an email, DM us on the socials, and we are there for you.
Peace.
Peace.